So thank you and welcome everybody. I was looking forward to a class with Emily, as I'm sure you were also, but she was unable to come today, and so here I am. And so we're going to, this is autumn, and sometimes in autumn we begin to feel a little scattered or not quite inside our head exactly, and we're nervous or whatever. And part of this is because there are things called doshas in yoga, and it's part of Ayurveda medicine. That's a sister of a sister science or of yoga. And the three doshas are Kapha, Pitta, and Vata. And Vata is the dosha for autumn. And when you have Vata energy, think about the wind whipping leaves around and so forth, and in autumn, and how it gets cold, and things are scattered and uneasy perhaps. So what we're going to do today, it also can happen to the people. If you have a lot of Vata in your system, you can be unable to remember things and losing things and nervous and so on. So what we're going to do for today's class is a class that will counteract this Vata energy. We're going to be doing a grounding class. So I'd like you to start by sitting in a comfortable seat. You can sit in Sukhasana, as I am, which is easy pose, but I know it's not easy for everybody. I'm sitting on a blanket, and that helps release the hips down. Or you can also, if this is really uncomfortable, you can sit with both legs out or one leg out, whatever you like. The main thing is that you find a comfortable seat. Okay, just release your arms and shoulders, relax your shoulders, and let your hands come down to the floor. And just notice how your shoulders are here. And then bring your hands up to your thighs without moving your shoulders. So this is a relaxing position for your hands. We're going to do an opening centering with a mudra, which is a hand motion. And we're going to use Jhana Mudra, which is bringing the index finger and the thumb together, and the other fingers are out. We do that with both hands, and then rest the hand with the palm up. Okay, the Jhana Mudra is wisdom. Jhana means wisdom, and it's the wisdom of yourself. So I thought that was a good one, since we're going to be coming into ourselves today. So go ahead and close your eyes. Begin to focus on your breath. And then we'll go ahead and I'll talk a little bit. Being grounded means being fully inside your body. It is an openness to the sensations you feel. Grounding asks us to step away from our mental distractions and to be more truly present in the moment. So for the next few moments, focus on your breath and try to let any thoughts that float into your head, just don't engage with them. Let them float away. We see the beauty of the changes that autumn brings. The leaves change color and they fall to the ground. The orchards are filled with apples. The fields are filled with pumpkins. I'm sure you can think of other things that happen in autumn that represent changes. We have crisp air. We haven't had too much crisp air yet, though. So honoring change is important, and also honoring change in ourselves becomes important. We let things fall away and new things enter our lives, which helps us to evolve. So as I talked about before, we're going to be bringing a grounding class to counteract any vata that we ourselves may feel in our body, or that we are picking up from the autumn vata. So as you do your practice today, think of reaching into the ground with your feet or your hands, wherever we are, and send your excess energy down into the ground. We're going to try and find a calm stillness. All right, so go ahead and you can open your eyes if you like. We're going to begin by making sure both of our sits bones are firmly on the ground, grounded. Our legs, whichever pose you have, are grounded, feeling the earth beneath us. And then we're going to lower the chin on an exhale and inhale our chin over to the left, and exhale, coming back down to the center, and inhale over to the right, and exhale on down again, and continue with your own breath, inhaling to the sides, exhaling to the center, and notice what's happening on the back of your neck. When your chin is down, you're stretching the whole back of the neck. When your ears are to the sides of your neck are being stretched. But also you may feel a gentle stretching along the top of your back as your chin revolves down and over. A few more times of this. Really just trying to release any tension in the upper back or shoulders. One more back and forth. And then on your last exhale, chin to chest, and inhale your head up. So let's take our hands and interlace the fingers and press the hands away from you. Now, you're sitting up nice and tall still, but your shoulder blades are apart from each other, and you're pressing away. And then lower your chin again. And breathe here. Notice that the breath, there's a lot of breath going into the top of your back. And again, we're getting this nice gentle stretch of the muscles at the top of the back just by breathing. With each inhale, a little stretch. With each exhale, a little release. And then release your hands, lift your head, and we'll begin to take our hands out to the side with the palms back, reaching behind, interlacing the fingers, and bringing the shoulder blades together this time, or towards each other anyway. And notice now, when you breathe, that the inhales give a little stretch to the upper chest muscles, right across the top here. What we're doing with these first 4 poses are opening our chest so that we have free-flowing breath. And then release. And now we're going to take our left hand to the floor and our right hand by the ear. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale over to the left. And the main thing to worry about here is keeping your right hip bone or sits bone on the floor so that you get the good stretch across the whole side of your body, maybe even up into your armpit. It doesn't actually matter how far down you go. And if this is hard on your shoulder or arm, you can even just lift your shoulder up like that and you still get that stretch there. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower your hand to the floor and inhale your left arm up by your ear or keep it by your side if you prefer. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale over to the side. So we're stretching all the little muscles between the ribs here, the intercostal muscles. With each breath in, they get a little stretch. And then with each exhale, they relax back. And on your next inhale, reach up and come up and let your arm float on down. Let's go ahead and do a forward fold. Forward folds are calming and centering. So inhale, lengthen. We're going to keep the back aligned as we do this and go forward from bending from our hips, not the waist. And to begin with, you may want your hands on the floor. And to begin with, we'll keep our back aligned, just feeling the gentle stretch in the low back. If you have no issues with your back, you can go ahead and round on down, bringing your head down towards the earth. I'll just stay where I am. Nice, easy, slow breaths here. If you have rounded down, bring yourself back to where your back is aligned, and then we'll walk our hands back, coming up to our comfortable seat. Let's do a twist. We'll take our right hand to the left knee, the left hand behind. Inhale and lengthen, and exhale, turn towards the left. And go ahead and turn your chin to look over your left shoulder and even look with your eyes to the left to give your eyes a little stretch. With each inhale, you lengthen through the spine, and each exhale, you relax into the twist. And now turn your head only, bringing your chin to look over your right shoulder. And again, look with your eyes back to the right. And now, one last big inhale, lengthening. We're going to twist the body to the left and the head to the right, and then release and come forward. We'll let our back settle back into its normal alignment, and then we'll go the other direction. We'll take the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn towards the right. Okay. And your head can look over your right shoulder with your eyes looking back. And the idea here is not to force your way around. You do a gentle twist just to wherever you're comfortable. On your next exhale, turn your head to look over your left shoulder, eyes looking behind you. And then we're going to do that wringing out like a washcloth movement again. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, twist the body towards the right and the head towards the left. And then release. Okay, very nice. Let's go ahead and do a sun breath. We're going to open our chest, bring our arms back, shoulder blades towards each other. That's on an inhale. Exhale, hands to Jhana Mudra, pressing them together, and feel your shoulder blades move apart. Inhale, arms, hands up towards the ceiling, and exhale, hands down to the side. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale, open. Exhale, Jhana Mudra, and press your hands. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Good. And one more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, hands together. Inhale, up. And exhale, arms down. All right. Good. Let's come on to table pose now. And if you like something under your knees, go ahead and get a blanket for under your knees or whatever you like. Now, coming into table, we have our knees under our hips and our wrists under our shoulders, and the fingers are wide. And we're pressing down into the palm and fingers. And now I want you to think about something for me. Notice your hands on the ground. Notice, do all the fingers touch the floor, the mat? Does the whole palm of your hand touch the mat? Or is there some space there? And then notice how your wrists feel. We're grounding here. And notice how your forearms feel and your elbows and all the way up to your shoulders, really grounding through the whole arm and hand. Okay, keep in mind how your fingers fit on the floor. And then we're going to come back to sitting. You can sit on your heels if that's comfortable, or you can sit back any way you like. I think I'll sit with my legs out. All right, we're going to do some finger yoga. We're going to, and then we're going to take one of the thumbs and bend it down. And again, be gentle with yourself. We're just giving our fingers a nice stretch. And then we're going to pull the thumb back towards us. All of these may be tiny motions, actually, or they may be big. It depends on the flexibility of your hand. And then your thumb comes around to the front. And then we're going to take the index finger and hold it back. And then fold it forward. And you try to keep the fingers straight. And one of the ways to do that is to press on the first knuckle there. And then the middle finger. And then the middle finger forward. And you try to keep the other fingers up. Mine don't always cooperate. And then the ring finger back. And the ring finger forward. And then the little finger back. And the little finger forward. And then shake it out a little bit. All right. We're going to now spread the fingers apart from each other. So maybe take two fingers from your other hand and Spread the index finger and the middle finger apart, so you get a stretch that direction as well. And then the ring finger and the middle finger, spreading them apart. And the little finger and the ring finger. Oops. And then kind of shake it out. I can feel the stretches in my hand, actually. Last one, we're going to take each finger and pull on it gently and twist it. So we're pulling the thumb and twisting gently. I don't want to hear any pops. Of course, I can't anyway. Pull on your index finger and twist gently. Your middle finger, your ring finger, and your little finger. And then again, shake it out. All right, the other hand needs the same stuff. So thumb out to the side. And then towards your body. And then fold the thumb across the palm. And then let's move to the index finger. And pull it back. So when you're pulling the fingers back, you may feel it, the stretch down your palm. And then forward. And with this one, when you're doing the forward fold, you may feel a stretch across the back of your hand. Middle finger back. So it isn't just the fingers that are getting a little bit of benefit, it's also the whole hand, maybe even your wrist. And then forward with the middle finger. And then back with the ring finger. You know, maybe you sit at the computer some and use a mouse. If you do, you'll find your hand curved a lot. Okay, ring finger forward. And then little finger back. And little finger forward. And then shake it out. All right, we need to stretch to the sides. So between the index finger and the middle finger, widen them out side to side. And then middle finger and ring finger. And then little finger and ring finger. And shake it out. And now we do the gentle pull and twist, starting with the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. And again, shake it out. All right, let's come back to our table pose. And again, spread your fingers. They may spread a little more easily. And notice now how they relate to the floor. There may be less room between your fingers and the floor and the palm and the floor. For me, it certainly is. All right, while we're here, let's go ahead and do some cat and cow. So let's exhale and round the back and drop the head. Inhale, coming into cow, so your belly goes down, your head comes up. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Now continue with your own breath pattern, but make sure that the movement starts with the pelvis. So when you're moving into cow, your pelvis moves towards your thighs, all the way up the spine then and the head. And as you're moving into cat, the pelvis moves away from your thighs, the spine moves, and the head comes down. So it's a nice, easy motion along your spine, starting at the pelvis each time. The other thing that's interesting about this pose is here we are so grounded with our hands and our lower legs and feet, and yet we can still move our body in a really nice, easy way with the cat and the cow. One more time. And then come to stillness here. Okay. We're going to move to downward facing dog. So move your hands a little forward of your shoulders, tuck your toes, and we're going to exhale and lift our knees, and straighten your knees only as much as is comfortable. So you can have bent knees in downward facing dog, it's okay. So let's take an inhale and exhale, lift up the hips, press into your hands, lift out of your shoulders. And if you need your knees bent still, go ahead. But let's all of us go ahead and pedal through downward facing dog. So pressing back with one heel and then the other heel. And then come to stillness here. And notice how grounded we are again with our hands and our feet this time. And since this is a forward fold kind of a pose, it's also a calming pose. On your next exhale, come down to your table. And then let's spread the knees and bring the big toes together and sit the hips back and come into child's pose. Bring your head down to the floor or on your arms or on your block. This is also a very grounding pose. Your whole body is close to the ground. Your arms are on the ground. Your lower legs are. And it's a calming pose because our head is down. Focusing only on the breath here. And let's come back up and go into downward facing dog again. So tuck your toes, inhale and exhale your hips up. And maybe it's a little easier this time. Maybe your legs can be a little straighter. Maybe you just went up more easily. We're going to walk our hands and feet together and come into a forward fold. And I'm going to move the camera while you're in your forward fold. Let's see if that'll work. Oh, that's not too bad. I can scoot back a little. I need an assistant. Okay, so we're in our forward fold. And let's inhale halfway up, hands to the shins. Exhale, fold forward. Let's do that one more time. Inhale halfway up to flat back and exhale down. This time when we inhale, we're going to sweep our arms out and up and then exhale them to the side. So inhale out and up, exhale, swan dive forward, flat back, and release. Inhale halfway up, flat back, exhale, down. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up, and exhale, arms to your side. We're going to do this 2 more times. It's the beginning of sun salutation. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward, flat back, and release. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Arms to your side. And last time, inhale, out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep your hands out and up. And this time, hands together and bring them down to heart center. Close your eyes and just notice how you're feeling. And then release and open your eyes. So we're going to use the block now. And we're going to start by putting the block between our thighs. Now, what this does is it really gets you set up to do mountain pose right, okay? So with everything aligned. So our heels are under our hips. And the other thing that is often a cue for mountain pose is you turn your hips in. And so let's go ahead and do that. And you'll know that you've done it because your block will move a little bit back. Now, bring your block back to neutral position and move your thighs opening the other way. So you're pushing the block forward with your thighs by rotating. Notice what happens to your back. When we're pushing it forward, the back is all tight. Now, move it so the block is going backwards, back towards the back wall. And your back releases some and it's more comfortable. So this is a way to tell that you've moved your thighs, rotated them back a little to help release your back. All right, so our shoulders are over our hips. The back of our neck is long and the top of the head is reaching for the ceiling. And your arms can be resting by your side, which is my favorite way to do it. Or you can have your arms active like this. But whichever way you choose for your arms to be, that's fine. And go ahead and close your eyes and picture yourself like a mountain. Feel your feet rooting down like the bottom of the mountain does. And feel your head reaching for the sky like the top of the mountain does. And notice how strong and stable and steady you are, just like a mountain. Take a few more breaths here, really feeling your feet root down. If you have excess energy in your brain, send all that energy down to your feet, down to the earth. Bring yourself to the present only. Okay, good. All right, since we have the block here, we're going to keep it here. And we're going to come into chair pose. So we're going to be squeezing the block with our thighs. We're going to sit our back, our bottom back, bring our arms forward. And you can have a tall chair or a short chair, whatever you like. You want to make sure your knees are behind your toes, and you may notice that most of your weight is in your heels. Let's come back up. Take a breath. And let's do that one more time and see if you can come a little deeper. Don't worry if you can't, it's okay. So sitting back. Yes, arms up, looking up between your hands that are facing each other. You may be feeling this in your thighs. And let's come up on an inhale. Yes. All right. So I've put my block down. Let's go ahead and move into a balance pose. If you need to hold on to the wall, that's fine. If you need to leave your foot on the floor, that's okay too. We're going to come into crane, and whatever your version is, that's fine. And the balance changes every day, so don't be surprised if what you could do yesterday doesn't work today. I have to keep telling myself that. So we're rooting down through the left foot and beginning to lighten the load on our right. And we don't want the hip to jut out. We want to keep it strong. We want to gently engage the core and find a focal point, a drishti, that isn't moving. And then, if you want to, you can begin to bring your right foot up. You may want to just leave the toes on the floor, and that's perfectly fine. Or you can lift up your knee so that the thigh is parallel to the floor, and then have some wings. And I think we'll have our fingers in Jhana Mudra again, with the index and finger and thumb touching, so that we're a wise crane. Remember to breathe. And then release your foot and bring your arms down. Good. Good. Maybe you need to shake out your legs. And let's go ahead and do the other side. So again, we start in our mountain pose, feet rooted down. And let's go ahead and shift the weight into the right leg. And then engage the core gently. Find your drishti, your focal point. Feel your right foot rooted. And when you're ready, begin to lift your left foot, maybe leaving the toe on the floor, or maybe lifting the thighs so it's parallel to the floor. You can be standing against the wall, holding a chair, a wall, anything you like. And again, wings with Jhana Mudra. Breathe. And then release on down. Good. All right, let's take a wide stance. And our toes are going to be pointing out a little bit. And we're going to come into goddess pose. So let's have goddess pose again with Jhana Mudra hands. So we're going to bend the knees, keep the body straight between right above your hips, and your hands out in goddess arms. All right. I think I'm feeling my thighs today. And then come up into 5-pointed star. Legs are straight, arms are straight up towards the ceiling in an angle. And then we're going to move into warrior 2. So we're going to take the left foot out towards the end of the mat. Drop the right heel back. Arms come parallel to the earth, and you bend your front knee. Now, one of the things that happens sometimes is people lean out over the front knee, but you want to keep your body straight over your hips. Okay. All right. Warrior 2. Let's lower the arms, straighten the legs, and come back to our legs with the toes pointed out. Okay, again, goddess with Jhana Mudra fingers. Feel how your feet are rooted here. You're so strong. Come up to 5-pointed stars. Both arms and legs are straight. And now we're going to move into warrior 2 by turning the right foot out and the left heel back and the arms out parallel to the ground and looking over your right arm. Your front knee is bent. Check it out to make sure it's over your ankle or behind your ankle. And then arms down and coming back to center here. All right, let's come forward in a forward fold. And again, we're going to keep our back aligned. And you may want your blocks for under your hands if you don't reach the floor. So have them handy if you need them. So your hands, let's keep the index finger in the crease of the hip. So we're really focusing on where we're bending. Okay. And our back is aligned still. And bring your hands to the floor or to the blocks, whatever you like. Let your head hang down. This is a calming pose, but it's also very rooted. We have our feet in the ground, our hands on the earth or on the blocks, and it's a forward fold, so it's calming. And then let's go ahead and bring our feet together and come on down to the floor. Oh, and I need to change the camera again. Sorry. Oh, well, it's good enough. I don't care. We'll be fine with it, I think. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and come onto our back. With our knees bent, feet on the floor. And we're going to take the block. I should have told you to bring the block with you. And we're going to put the block between our thighs again. We're going to squeeze that block And maybe bring your shoulder blades a little closer together. We're going to come into bridge. So let's inhale and then exhale, lift up your hips. So one of the things the block does here, it keeps our legs from opening out too wide. This way we keep our back safe. We know where our knees are supposed to be and how the muscles are supposed to be working towards the thighs towards each other. And notice how grounding this one is. Your feet are nicely grounded. Your arms are by your side on the ground. Your shoulders are grounded, as is the back of your head. A very grounding pose. Let's release down. Let's take the block out. Let's come into bridge one more time. Inhale and then exhale, lift. And notice, can you tell now where your knees are supposed to be? I think you probably have a better feeling for how they're supposed to be going towards each other, not touching, but towards each other instead of flaying out. And the muscles are active. And release on down. Good. Let's bring the left knee in. You can hold around your shin if you like, or your thigh, whatever feels better to you. And let's lengthen the other leg down. So we're holding whichever leg. I think I said the left, I hope, and the right leg down. Getting a nice stretch in the lower back on the left side, and also a nice gentle massage for the ascending, the descending colon over here. You notice that each time you inhale, your thigh might move a little bit, and then when you exhale, it comes back down. So this nice gentle massage of your internal organs. All right, keep your right hand on your left knee. Take your left arm out in the T and bring your knee over, your left knee over to the right. So whatever feels good to you. We keep the left shoulder on the floor. Again, a very grounding pose. Let's bring the knee back up. Put the foot on the floor and bring your right foot to the floor now. We're going to bring the right knee in towards the chest. Again, holding on your right shin or your right thigh, whatever you like best. And let's go ahead and lengthen the left leg out. And let's go ahead and notice again that with each breath, we're just having this really gentle massage of the ascending colon here. It's ascending on right side and descending on the left. Okay. Anyway, the internal organs on the right are getting this nice massage. And then take your left hand to your right knee and your right arm out in the T with the palm up, and begin to lower your right knee to the left, keeping your right shoulder on the floor. And let's bring our knee back up. Both feet to the floor, knees bent. And let's do a final release for the back. We'll just rock back and forth, getting a full back massage. And then we'll circle the knees so that our sacral area gets a nice massage as well. And then reverse the circles. And then bring your feet to the floor and go ahead and bring yourself into Shavasana, the ultimate grounding pose. Your whole body is on the floor here. Palms up, or they can be on your tummy if you like, whatever is comfortable for you. Also, you don't have to be on your back. You can be on your side or your front or sitting. Again, whatever makes you most comfortable. You might want to cover with your blanket or have something under your knees. Once you're comfortable, close your eyes, seal your lips, and breathe gently, quietly, and slowly in and out of your nose. And with each exhale, allow the weight of your body to release further down towards the ground. With each exhale, release the shoulders, the hips, the legs. Rest here for a moment. Let your body feel the ground beneath you, holding you. It's always been there to hold you. Now take your attention more towards the exhale. Let each exhale take a little more time than the inhale does. So this might be, if you feel like counting, you might inhale to the count of 3 and exhale to the count of 4. And again, if this is uncomfortable for you, just go back to your regular breath. The longer exhale actually relaxes people. Now notice all the points of your body which are touching down and connecting to the ground below you. The heels of your feet, the back of your lower legs, the back of your thighs, your hips, your back, your shoulders, your arms, the back of your head. With every exhale, release energy down into the earth and imagine that each of these connection points expands a tiny bit, widens. So with every exhale, feel yourself sinking deeper. Rest here, aware of this connection between the solidity of your body and the firmness of the earth. Your mind still may be active, may be very active. Anytime you notice the mind has wandered off chasing a thought, spend no time wondering why. Spend no time wondering on what. Spend no time judging the meditation or yourself as good or bad. Simply bring the mind back to the body, to the form of the body, to the solidity of the body, to the grounded body. Be present with the body, right here, right now, with the body. in touch with the ground. Still, stable, rooted, grounded. From this place of stability, continue to notice when the mind wanders off, and as many times as you need to, bring the mind back to the body, back to this anchor of the form of your body, stable and connected to the earth. Before we end this meditation, check in one more time with the space where your body meets the ground. And then begin to move the small muscles of your body, like fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Maybe rock your head gently back and forth. And when you feel ready, bend your knees and roll to one side. And take a few breaths here, still on the earth, feeling the earth hold you. And then when you're ready, use your hands to press yourself up into a comfortable seat. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all the love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you along. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.